I, 38M, always thought I was a pretty good judge of character. When I met Isabel, 35F, it felt like everything clicked. On one of our early dates, she looked me in the eye and said, "I've never been married before. I was waiting for the right person. You're my first." I told her, "I feel so special," and I meant it. We were married for 2 years, living in a house I owned long before I met her. The lie unraveled because of something incredibly boring: insurance paperwork. I was updating my policy, and a folded document fell out of her personal folder. It was a certificate of title for a car she'd sold years ago. The name on it was Isabel Miller. Her maiden name is Dubois. When I asked about it, she hesitated for just a second. "Oh, that was a family name I used for a bit. It's complicated." The hesitation stuck with me. That night, I did a public records search. I found not one, but 3 prior marriage licenses under different surnames. A few more clicks confirmed they were all officially dissolved. So she wasn't a bigamist. She was just a liar who had built our entire relationship on a fraudulent foundation. The hurt was deep, but on the surface, a methodical calm took over. My reply of "I feel so special" echoed in my head, mocking me. Our second anniversary was in 3 weeks. I'd already booked a private table at a nice restaurant. The plan formed not out of rage, but out of a need for the consequences to be as deliberate as her deception. I found the 3 ex-husbands online: David Miller, Mark Peterson, and James Kent. I sent each a simple message explaining the situation and inviting them to the anniversary dinner. They were shocked, but not surprised. They each had their own stories of her lies, and all agreed to come. The night of our anniversary, Isabel was glowing. She talked about our future. I played my part, smiled, and gave her a necklace. At 7:55 p.m., I said, "I have a little surprise." At 8 p.m., David, Mark, and James walked in and were led to our table. They were dressed respectfully and sat in silence. Isabel looked from them to me, and the color drained from her face. "Leo, what is this?" she whispered. "Isabel," I said, my voice perfectly level. "You told me I was your first. But here is husband number 1, David, and husband number 2, Mark, and husband number 3, James. I just wanted all of your husbands to be in the same room for once." She began to hyperventilate, her hand at her throat. I can't. You built our marriage on a lie," I continued calmly. "I just wanted to bring the truth to the table for our anniversary." She stumbled to her feet, knocking her chair over, and fled the restaurant. I turned to the 3 men. "Thank you for coming." David, husband number 1, shook his head. "Don't be sorry. I wish someone had done this for me." I paid for the dinner and went home. Her things were gone. The house felt empty, but also clean. Update 1, 3 weeks later. The silence from Isabel lasted 12 hours. Then her sister, Qley, called me at work. "What did you do to her?" "She's a wreck. You humiliated her." "Qley," I said. "I presented her with the truth she hid from me. That's all. She was scared to tell you. You're supposed to love her. You owe her for this, Leo. You owe her big time," she screamed before I hung up. The narrative she spun was that I was a controlling monster who couldn't handle her past, which she claimed was one short marriage. Then came the dirty tricks. First, an anonymous complaint to my HR department alleging erratic and vindictive behavior. My boss knows me, so after I calmly explained the basics, my wife concealed 3 prior marriages. I ended the relationship. HR saw it was a baseless retaliatory action and dropped it. The attempt to mess with my job was the last straw. I hired a sharp, no-nonsense lawyer, Mr. Davies. "This is classic fraud," he said. "We don't file for divorce. We file for an annulment. It declares the marriage was never legally valid." It was the perfect, logical consequence. Next, a letter from her lawyer arrived, demanding spousal support and use of the marital home. Mr. Davies just laughed. "This is noise. We got to work building a fortress of facts." Final update, 6 months later. The last 6 months were a legal battle. Isabel's lawyer tried to drag out proceedings, acting as if it were a standard divorce. Mr. Davies countered with a simple, brutal motion for a summary judgment on the annulment, arguing there were no facts in dispute. In the hearing, her lawyer argued her past had no bearing on our marriage. Mr. Davies stood up. Your Honor, this isn't about a past. It's about identity. This deception is so fundamental it invalidates the very consent upon which the marriage was based. We are here to undo a contract signed under false pretenses. He then presented the evidence package, the 3 marriage licenses, divorce decrees, and sworn testimony from the ex-husbands confirming her pattern of lies. The judge looked at Isabel. Ms. Du Bois, did you tell your husband you had never been married before? Yes or no? Yes, she whispered. The judge granted the annulment on the spot, declaring the marriage void. The fallout for Isabel was catastrophic. No marital assets. Because the marriage legally never existed, there was no marital property to divide. She was entitled to nothing from me. No spousal support. Alimony isn't awarded for a marriage that was a nullity. Legal fees. The judge ordered her to pay a portion of my legal fees, citing her bad faith arguments. Last I heard, Isabel had to move in with Qley. The sister who enabled her is now stuck with the reality of supporting a 35-year-old woman with a victim complex and no income. The friends who supported her have gone silent now that the legal facts are known. For me, the piece is profound. The revenge wasn't the dinner. That was just the opening statement. The real revenge was using the system she tried to exploit to hold her accountable. It was allowing the logical, unemotional consequences of her lies to play out. She wanted to play a game of pretend and ended up with nothing real.